Shalom, shalom. To gravitate more and cleave more to Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. I know you guys see the title of this YouTube show, or you. I'm going into the laborers of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai has the most important job. You know, the most important job. The most important job is, for all the children of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, the most important thing is to believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. But the most important job, the most important work on the earth is teaching of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, teaching the cross of Hamashiach Yahushai, teaching the grace, teaching the everlasting life, teaching the salvation. I work a full-time job as other people that's making six figures. There's all different types of jobs on this earth, but the most important job is, teaching His word and even putting order in your house. It's very important, because if you're not teaching this word and you have the ability of teaching, and you're being lazy, you're going to be held accountable. The same if you have a household or a congregation, and you're not trying to put order in that household or the congregation, you will be held accountable. The Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, called us for duty. Literally, He called us for duty. This is a job where all hands should be on deck. And what inspired me, to bring this up is first, and sorry everybody, my connection or whatever the heck is going on with my phone is saying the connection is not so good. So bear with me. I'ma still get to my camp destination, right? So again, I'm going through 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, in the NLD, starting at verse 1. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. I had to talk as though you belonged to this world, or as though you were infants in the Christian life. I had to feed you with milk and not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger, and you still aren't ready." And I might even do a Lammy to this. We out here to teach. And sometimes, like how the apostles, the men of great millstone, where they always say, man, we got to teach the whole volume of the word. And sometimes you might have to go back into the milk. You might have to go back into the basics. You might go into the Proverbs, might go into the wisdom, might go into the, the red letter, the Gospels. You might go into the apostles. Hey, you might get into some parables, and you might get into some prophecies, And even, when we at camp and people come up, their level of understanding is where you're gonna point them, to build them in this faith, to build Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai's children in the faith, This thing, you gotta be sincere, and you gotta be dedicated to it. You gotta have a delight to it, because you're not gonna know everything overnight. Even if you did, what's next? You have to daily give out this daily bread, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. daily you should be feeding the sheep, you know. That's why I said earlier, if you have the talent of teaching, feeding the sheep, you have to use those talents, you know. And if you want to sharpen your talents, you know, the Lord tell us, you know, there's three things he loves: the unity of brethren, and of course, you know, the love of neighbors, and when a husband and wife agrees. But that unity of brethren, which the unity of brethren is us in oneness, speaking the same thing and moving the same. When you go to 1 Corinthians, I believe it's the first chapter, you know, it talks about how Paul said no division amongst us, you know, and that's what true brethren is, you know. So it's different levels when it comes to this teaching. You know, everybody's not ready for the meat. Everybody's not ready for the meat. And then you have some that can comprehend and that is ready for the meat, you know. But even when it comes to us, you know, teachers, you got to make your calling and election sure, you know. I got to be sure about what I'm teaching. I got to have faith in it, you know, in order to teach it. So I'm going to read that verse again. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. It says, in the NLT, it says, I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger. And you still aren't ready, you know. A lot of people are not ready for this teaching, you know. Women as a very strong prime example, because, you know, they're in a weaker nature, you know, certain things they can't deal with, you know. But even the men, you know, there's certain men that's in this thing that can't handle certain things, right? Verse 3, it says, for you are still controlled by your sinful nature. You are jealous of one another and quarrel with each other. Doesn't that prove you are controlled by your sinful nature? Aren't you living like people of the world? You know, sidebar. This is why. Oh yeah, let me turn the camera. Sidebar. You know, what is it? What he said again? Aren't you living like people of the world? This is why, you know, being in this truth, being in this walk, every day you should be evaluating yourself. You know, like a patient going to the hospital. Evaluate yourself. You know, you want to make sure that you don't look like you don't have a reflection of this world. Like every time I have to upgrade myself, you know, sometimes I might have to be more stern with myself. You know, maybe myself and other people around could get comfortable, you know. And every time, you know, when the men of the Lord grow in this faith, we have to adapt. You know, we have to grow. You have to be more serious about it. You know, this is not about play. This is not about funny, fail. But there's a lot of things that take us away from our role and our position. But you want to make sure that you're not a reflection of the world, you know. So verse 4, it says, when one of you say, I am a follower of Paul, and another say, I follow Apollos, aren't you acting just like people of the world, right? And hey, that's another thing. How the elder apostles, like me and my brothers, we follow the doctrine. And the example that these men do, as all stern men, we reflect on how Bahasham is moving them. And, you know, with Yahawah, you know, being the head, you know, we reflect on how we move, how we conduct ourselves, you know. Because no man in the truth, really like the apostles, they don't want you to boast and blow up their head. You know, okay, you give double honors, shalom, and do the work. Hey, if you're missing something, hey, watch these videos and sharpen up your precepts, right? But we follow Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, right? And we're led through the Spirit, through the Rakak Josh, and where we're learning this truth under men, under men that the Lord put in front of us, right? And it's just like when you go to school, you're being educated by your teacher. You're learning under the foot of your teacher. You know, hey, that's the Lord set that up so that we can be correct and more precise when it comes to teaching His word. You know, Verse 5, it says, after all, who is Apollos? Who is Paul? We are only God's servant through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. Right? So every brother, I'm not the only one, that's on this channel. We got other channels, our individual, like I'm about to do a camp one on my Adargabar 144. You got Yaramayan, the Hopeful Elect 144. You got Shem Yawala, Yasharala. You got Asher, Yasharala, and you got Bashar. I think it's Salvation something 144. And we're servants of the Lord. You know, what is it? We're unprofitable servants. The Lord gave us a command. We have to do it. And sometimes, even if we do it, you might hear something that you said or a brother said, and you might sharpen up the delivery, or you might land me off of it because sometimes the Rakakwadash is still around you. Edification must still go out. I was thinking before I did this, was I gonna incorporate this in the camp? Don't know what I was gonna bring out, because my mind at work and everything that I do bring out to read, it usually don't go to camp, but it's a lot of things going on. And then the Lord put basic things that brothers bring out into my head, and I'm like, you know what, I might have to bring that out. Then, sitting down, reading and observing chapters, came across 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, and I know that I am a laborer of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. I am not the best. I am not the starter of this. I don't have no new doctrine. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I have my own congregation under the leader that the Lord put in front of us, which is Yaramayan, right? I'm a student. I'm a servant. I'm a baby prophet in this thing, And so when I'm teaching, or any of my brothers, you're not following us, You're following Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. You're trying to grow in his faith. You're trying to grow in his ministry. You're trying to grow in his grace. You're trying to grow in the patient, All I could do is but live and teach, So we're not followers of Apollos. We're not a follower of Paul. We're a follower of who they are teaching, Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. Everybody has a position, everybody has a role, but the main role we all have are servants under Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. We're servants through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. And you got to ask yourself this, even if you feel you got all the knowledge, all this and all that, ask yourself, is you doing the work the Lord commanded you to do? Even if you're bringing out the same verses, is you bringing it out to edify the sheep? Is you only in this thing for views and likes? Is you only in this thing just to have women, just to have women in here, and then you can go through each one? Hey, that's cool that you can have women and all, right? But is those women taken away from you doing the work of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai? Is you putting these women in order? Right? Is you trying to flaunt and show these women to the world, like you want brothers to envy or be jealous of you? No, you keep your marriage separate. We not in a time to showboat our marriage, our wives, anything. We here to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. Just like the women. They're a woman means a female servant. A woman, she has to serve. Hey, if a man is not asking for anything, no woman on earth should be upset. A woman should be thinking, oh, I'm watching these kids. So you are still being a servant under that man, because you're making sure them kids is good, right? What really comes is if he say he needs something and he's there, Us as men, us as women, the Lord called us in his faith, and the things that we incorporate, like if you're not teaching, you incorporate what you learn in this faith, and you bring it into your household. You don't become childish. Me, I got to deal with correction. Either if I'm saying something wrong, watching these videos, I'm like, oh man, I said something wrong, I got to fix it. Or a brother I labor with say, hey, yo, bro, you said something. I got to fix those things. So if I got to take correction, if that brother got to take correction, the kids got to take correction, women, we all got to take correction. because we are children of Bahasham Yahushai. Everything in life before we get into the kingdom is a learning example for you to be better. Like a man, don't wait to the kingdom to start cleaving to the Lord and being better. Women, don't wait for the kingdom to start being better. Oh, I'm gonna serve him better. Oh, I'm gonna listen better. I'm gonna control I'm gonna do it better in the kingdom. Yeah, we know we're all gonna do it better in the kingdom. But this right here is a test run. Everything we do on this side is training you. A laborer, a man is a laborer and a woman is a laborer. You're a laborer under your husband. You're supposed to be working on your role before you get in the kingdom. If you're not working on your role before the kingdom, the Lord will make you a bottom wife. Hey, maybe the Lord might not even save your ass. And it goes for the men every day. If you're considering yourself a laborer for this faith, being a light for your children, being a light to your next door neighbors, your family members, you do it by doing the work or speaking on Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai as much as you can. You know? When I go around my brothers, even if I gotta be upset, it could be something at home, it could be something at work, I'm finding a way to make it edifying so that brothers can give me encouraging words. It's not about me to be talking about a female or about another brother and we're not trying to resolve a problem. We're servants. We're laborers. Soon as you speak, you teach something, you have a problem, the end result is to make a change. Didn't Tupac say that? We're supposed to improve. We're supposed to upgrade. We're supposed to recharge. You know? Servants don't stop doing their work. You know? And even more, the number one thing outside of this is always shining your light for somebody that's next to you. Some people could be going through something in their mind and not telling you. You know, you being a light. You could just be reading and that person see you reading and they could do something into them. You know? Right? So we have to know that we're servants through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. I planted the seed in your hearts, which is your mind, and Apollos watered it. But it was God who made it grow. It's all Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai that makes us grow in his ministry. It's not us. We can't do shit unless Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai allow us. Just like your marriage, right? Any brother, whatever you going through or whatever, like if women flocking to you, however, and it's not the same how it was back then, that's your glow. That's your smell, right? And everybody ain't gonna get in line in this thing, you know? Everybody's faith is not the same as the next person. Every woman is not a prophetess. Every brother is not gonna go into the deep things, you know? All of us is different, but we all have a role to play, you know? It's like, say a woman might massage and another woman might cook food. Guess what? You still working, you know? One might be teaching the kids, the other one might be folding clothes. A brother might be doing prophecies and then you going into the gospel. Every hand on deck to shine the light. Even more, this is going to help me usher in the live that I'm going to do. You know, it's really going into Matthew 24, right? I'm going to read that whole clip because this is the time that we need to go out. Even Revelations 11. We're standing on our feet right now. This number one thing that's being promoted outside all the other distractions is this truth, you know, and it's the men, you know, Ezekiel 34:31. I'm gonna bring that out too, Lord willing, right? The flock of Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai is men. The men is teaching this word and it's making it more popular. What I was about to say, making it more popular than anything in America or in the world. This truth, man, and it's because Yahawah is making it grow. Right? We're just planting, right? One is planting, one is watering. And it's the Lord that makes it grow. We ain't doing shit, but unless we're teaching and the Lord is moving us through the Rakak Wadash, all we could do is water it. Plant it and water it. Plant it and water it. You go to St. John, the 4th chapter, all of us entered into other man's labors. You know, the apostle, the apostle Elder Tahar on down, it was men before them. They entered into their labor. Before they came in, their elders and their elders, they entered into somebody's labor. And then when we go all the way back before we came here, we enter into their labors, and then their labors, and their labors. You know, this is a privilege. You know, every man and every woman should look at this as a privilege that you know the truth. You know, this is why, like I always tell myself at work, or when my phone be acting crazy when it don't load, I get upset. When it could be something about work, a man or a woman, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I'm letting that go. I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna move different. You know, because nobody should stop you from shining. Nobody should stop you from taking in with the words of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawah. When teaching coming out, you want to absorb that. You let all those other problems go, because shit, we human, man. Shit is gonna happen, but you want things. You don't want shit to be smooth all the time. Those be eye openers for you to examine and make change. And when you make a change, it make you learn more. Like, oh man, all Israel have to change. You know, it's a lot going on right now. A lot of Jake in the hood hustlers, stripper hoes, slut buckets. They coming out saying we God chosen people. Eventually, they're going to have to make a change. But the example, which the men on the highways and byways and men that's doing sit-downs daily, those are the top examples of the earth. You know, you women that's staying in the in-house, you are an example too, but how fully to other women that's not seeing you? The time where women is gonna see you is when women start to cleave to that man, and that man like, hey, my wives is in the house. Most women are not even being promoted. Now, some of you women in these other camps, yeah, y'all being promoted, you know, but a lot of women that's in this faith, you're mostly behind, you're on the bench, you know. And at the end of the day, that's the best spot that you have, because you get to double up your faith. You get to double up your faith faster than some of us men, because all you got to do is believe, and you teach them child, and you just be a woman, you know. But as men, we have to plant seeds. We have to water it. Women, the man already planting the seed because he's bringing the truth. You have to water it by always feeding yourself too. By, oh, let me get on this video. Let me watch this. And then take something from it. Don't just have it on and you just have it on. We ain't in the church no more, you know. And you want to water the seed by the children. You might hear something and be like, okay, I might not be able to break all of that down. You know what, let me get these 2 verses and give the sense to my kids. Oh, I just seen this video, let me go teach my kids. That's you watering. And through the spirit, a man don't have to hurry up and every time, oh, you make me happy, you're doing good. No, through the spirit, if you're doing that, you already doing good, because really, we're here to please Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawah. You know, you are pleasing the man when you're doing things that's pleasing to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawah. You being a female servant, you being a mother. You know, you holding on to those wifely duties. If he's ready, he's ready. Or hey, if he wants you to get a little more loose, and you know what I'm saying, you gonna approach those things. A man and a woman job for Yahawah Bahasham Shai is never done. And even outside of that, for one another, we have other jobs too. The main thing a man should bring is dwelling with the woman and the child with wisdom, knowledge, understanding through his actions. How he talk. If a man is always a yes man, you get so comfortable that as soon as he say no, it's a problem. And that's just like with men. We have everything our way. Oh, we rough. Man, I was rough on when I was teaching the women and towards men. You know, had to hear you like, oh man, yo, we gotta calm down with that. Calm down with that. Then you like, oh man, come on, man. And I had to hear it. I had to hear that. Get that example. Then having to respect the person, because everybody don't know Hebrew. So I wanted to say Jesus sometimes. Then I had to get corrected. You know, guess what? Didn't get butthurt. It hit me like, oh man, dude, they saying this. But then I soaked it in like, yo, this man is right. I want people to call me a darker bar, blah, 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 blah. We're in here to learn, not hold on an attitude, not hold on a grudge. Now, if somebody piss you off, you gonna tell them they pissed you off. Hey, I don't want to do nothing. That's what it is. But guess what? You know, niggas ain't we ain't being pissed at our brother when we want to fight him. Brother, you made me upset, man. I'm about to just go. You just going, hey, I'm about to go my separate way. You go do you. Let me get that out my ear, man. You know, because you upset me. Some brothers might not want to be around somebody because they upset. Some people might just be quiet, you know, might be quiet. We're not in here to assume, when it comes to a woman doing something or a man doing something or a brother doing something, you got to have proof. In the scriptures, we can't tell, bear, you can't assume certain things, you know, until somebody is telling you, hey, this is how I feel. Hey, this is how it is. Because you could hurt yourself if you think somebody else got a vendetta or a problem with you, you know? And guess what? When we start assuming things as men, even women, you're planting things in yourself, and now you're about to get the plague of the mind. Now you might lose yourself. The Lord called us to be servants. Every servant at every restaurant is getting better at serving, how they talk, because at the end result, they want to have a good tip at the end. You know, maybe they might not be looking for it, but the more they're more polite, the more they're persistent. Hey, what do you need? Every second they're there, it comes at the end with a tip. So us as servants, talking to the men first and foremost, and to the women, always improve to be a better servant. You know, always work on yourself to be a better servant. Because don't wait for the kingdom to do it. This we have right here. This is the test run. Wow, that's a lesson. This is a test run. You know, living in this flesh, this is a test run. So just talked about anger. Test run. To be able to work with your anger, to have discipline when it comes to certain things. This is a test run, a test run. Getting comfortable, and then something happen, you got to be able to evaluate, damn, I'm getting too comfortable, because as soon as somebody do this, do that, then damn. This is a test run. Can't get comfortable in this place. This is not a place of rest. Somebody's not going to always do the same thing. A brother not about to walk a woman across the street every time and hold her hand. Oh, we get around a whole bunch of people, could be women there. Oh, he not about to just grab you, and you thinking, oh man, I want everybody to know that this is my man. Like, what is you doing? You don't want no woman to approach. Most people get too comfortable in this place. They get comfortable in a relationship. They get comfortable in a congregation. Oh, I'm in the camp. I'm gonna just hold line. Now, some brothers cannot teach. Some brothers might not be able to teach, but some brothers that can. They get so comfortable, they like, man, dude, we bringing out the same thing. I don't need to teach no more. You're getting too comfortable. Kids, they might have a father in their life. They might grow. They're too comfortable. My daughter, my, she got 3 moms, her biological and my wife's, right? I don't want her to get too comfortable, but I want her to learn from her mother, see how she move, from my wife Noya and my wife Iwai. It's not about me, but I'm using it as an example because we're servants. We're supposed to be learning. Every day you should be seeing something that you can learn from, something where you can grow, something where you can take that and be a light for somebody else, So that goes into watering, that goes into planting and watering. I just had to keep talking in it. Right now, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 7, the NLT, it says, it's not important who does the planting or who does the watering. It's not important who does the planting or the watering. What's important is that God makes the seed grow. St. John 3:30, right? He must increase and I must decrease. It's the Lord that grows. It's the Lord that grow within you. The Rakak Wadash, you might get better. Before, I wasn't able to dabble in prophecies. I'm not going to lie to you. But it took for me to take accountability. I was being lazy in many points of time in this truth. And I get too anxious to be able to teach that I didn't want to hear somebody teach. And that's terrible. How can I'm a teacher, but I was never a student, And even though I was still watching, I'm just critiquing myself. In order to be in this thing, you gotta have a student mentality too to learn. As soon as you just think, oh, I'm the end all be all, you're going to start thinking you Bishop Nathaniel. You might think you Genesis, I'm looking back more in history, in the scriptures, when I see the Lord was dealing with the elders. How he was putting soldiers, officials, prophets, apostles, everybody in their order. I want to be in that order, so I'm following the elders, the elder apostles on down. And I'm not in this for any man or any woman emotions or feelings. Us as children of the Lord, you have to always look at an example to be a better servant. His brothers that have been in this for 40 years is still holding to the doctrine, still holding to the name. Some could have been in here for 15 years. They believe in the name, but they're still teaching in Jesus. I can't learn from that. I could learn certain things, but I can't learn in the teaching aspect because now you giving me the old me, having respect of person because everybody don't know Hebrew. So I'm gonna go to where I can fit in, because it's not about who plants the seed and who water it. It's about it's about Yahawah Bahasham Shai that makes the seed grow. And if I could look at another person and see the reflection that they're growing, then I know Yahawah Bahasham Shai is the one that did that. Even in yourself, we're unprofitable servants. But if you abide in the Lord, you're able to see the works and the action of Yahawah Bahasham Shai within yourself, and you know it's Yahawah Bahasham Shai that grew in you. That's why we must be persistent and precise, accurate when it comes to serving Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai, right? Because he makes the seed grow. Verse 8, it says, the one who plants and the one who waters works together with the same purpose. How are they going to work together? Because they're going to teach the same thing. Even if he's going into milk and I'm going into parables, say if we switch, he goes into parables, I go into milk. We're going to be teaching the same thing. It's going to be the same purpose. Some brothers say, oh, we're all Israelites, but we all teach the same law, so we're in unity there. No, we got to be in unity when it comes to the whole volume of the book, you know? So whoever waters and whoever plants and whoever waters, they work together in the same purpose, right? And both will be rewarded for their own hard work, right? And just because of men, because I'm always saying that they're teaching, say if a woman is, in a household with a man that has another wife, right? Or if you just you a sister and there's other sisters that's in this faith, you're gonna come together and work for the greater purpose. Like the apostle said a few days ago, the woman's job even back then in the ancient time, most of it was really the woman that was making the garments, you know. So instead of a woman having a good time and doing all these other things, a woman can double her faith, double her work in this thing for what she do for the brethren. What she do for the congregation, the ministry of Yahawah Bahasham Shai, that's not going to go unnoticed. Yeah, the brother's going to be like, man, that's just the mighty, but it's all the Lord. You're making garments. It could be sackcloth. You can be like, man, I didn't want to make something too fancy for you, so here you go, brother. You might not look for charity, but your charity is you doing those things. Yahawah Bahasham Shai is smiling upon that thing. Right now, say if it is you're around a sister that might like your husband, or it could be another sister, right? Y'all working together to plant that seed, as in teaching these kids, or how you order your household. Hey, yo, you cooking? I'm gonna watch the kids with the movies. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm gonna braid the hair. Hey, I'm gonna go this and this and that. Those things is the example of the spirit that y'all working together. And that's for women. And that's the example you give to the kids. If you got daughters or you got sons, you are the example. Just as a man, I'm an example for my boys outside that I don't, I'm not with. I don't get to see Akai or teach him. I'm the example of mine, right? He's supposed to see, man, this man is always diligent for the Lord. It might not push him to teach or do certain things, but this is the role model that we should be for men, right? And even for daughters. If daughters is oh, I want to be my dad's favorite, I want to be the special one, oh, I want recognition, a daughter is supposed to be a reflection of the mom. If she see, oh, dad is just saying as an example, she know that her dad drink a certain pop or a certain fluid, she might be like, hey, look, I gotta put this in the refrigerator for pops. Those examples is gonna teach that daughter to be a wife. And this is what we is. This is what I say. Being planting the seed or watering is all what laborers do for other servants, right? But if I tell my daughters, hey, unbraid my hair, instead of saying, hey, yo, love, hey, you do it, and say if that person get in their feeling, that's so terrible. But I'm teaching my daughters to be a woman, to play with hair, take hair, braid hair, If they're not learning that from a woman, somebody has to let them know their feminine traits. You know, if you see a grown, beautiful woman covering herself or crossing her legs, you want to teach your daughters to cover their legs. If you not showing too much skin, you want to teach your daughters not to show too much skin. You know, and it's all to be a reflection of the father in the house, so that eventually, when these daughters is ready, you're able to arrange the right man to be with them, right? Because she's gonna have the right mindset. Hey, my dad like this do this, and then she can evaluate her husband and see what he like and what he don't like. But in all the normal things, the things that women is supposed to have, those are the traits our women so always, especially if you got daughters, you got to know your work is never ended. You got to always teach those daughters. Women, I'm just speaking on the water even more because it hits in many ways. You have to know that eventually some of these young girls grow into their hormones. They start thinking of certain things, having certain feelings. Hey, you have to start teaching your kids discipline. You have to be able to teach your kids how to be honest. If you afraid or saying something, guess what? Our children is gonna be afraid. If I teach my son to not be 10 toes down for the Lord, he's not gonna be 10 toes down for the Lord. It's a domino effect, right? If I'm afraid to correct somebody or tell somebody something, my kids or somebody, they gonna be afraid to do that when they get of age. It's gonna be a domino effect. So we're supposed to plant a seed and water a seed by teaching every day, being a light every day. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. Sometimes we have to be prepared for a no and then turn around and smile and be like, hey, man's going to the Lord. Maybe it was something that I needed to hear a no, you know? Because everybody on this side can't get a yes all the time. And everybody on this side might not get a no on this side. That person might get a yes and that person might get a no. Everybody's not the same, you know? And this is why we need the kingdom even more, because when one person do something and then you be like, nah, I'm good, then another person get a pissy fit. I've been seeing this all on social media, you know? You got women demanding, oh, stop being friendly. Oh, I know you're smooth. I know you're doing this. Hey, Michelle was saying this and to David, and David was dancing for the Lord. Guess what? The Lord hit her and closed her womb, and she didn't, when you read the NLT, she didn't have a baby at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if a wife, it doesn't matter if that man is entertaining the biggest woman on the earth. Is you a wife? You should make sure that you a light. So say if that woman do become a collective one, that you can be a servant to be a light for her, to point her into like, yo, this is what he likes. You know? That's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of you women. You know? This is why you have marriage. This is why you have the example of you being a servant in your own household. Then you get to look at certain women. You know? You get to know that if you building yourself up in faith, eventually it's going to come a time where you're going to have to be a light for another sister. I'm not waiting for the kingdom. I'm not waiting for Jacob's trouble to change my thoughts. I'm not waiting for Jacob's trouble or the kingdom to change my steps, right? I'm trying to do this now each and every day. We have to be better, right? And that goes into planting the seed and watering it. And you do it within yourself. Examine yourself. You're planting a seed and you're watering it. But it's all Yahawah Bahasham Shai that helps you grow to that change. You know? I want to be prepared for this MOTB. Right now, you got to pay this and pay that. What imagine you say no and then you get kicked out of your house? I have to examine this and see in my head, am I ready? If my anger get mad, man, where the hell is this remote at, man? Just imagine how mad I'm going to be if my car not working. And then I go to bank account and then my money not there. You know? You have to work on your attitude, work on your discipline right now. Don't wait for the shit to hit and then now you want to make change. You too assed out. Let's not be assed backwards. Right? Verse 9, it says, for we are both God's workers, and you are God's field. You are God's building. Right? That's what we are. We his worker, we his field, and we his building. This is why every day, or as much as you can, you want to get edified. You want to be builded up, or you want to build. You know, when you sharpen your sword with your brother, you're building. You're building more on you, on this temple. Even as sisters, you watching lessons, y'all expounding, y'all talking, even when it comes to the character of a woman, you know? You could be talking to a whole nother sister. You know, those things is for you to be a worker, the Most High's field, and building, because so somebody else can be a worker, field, and building. This is a domino effect, you know, and we have to do as much as we can. And guess what? If there's no true believers around you, kick the dust off your feet and keep it moving. Us men, we gotta constantly do this. Be a worker, be a field, and be a building. You know, even more when a man become a husband and has a household, he has to always be a worker, always be the field, always be a building for Bahasham Shai. Of course, he has to make a balance, but the Lord put him in a situation, and you got to examine and be like, man, you know what? I'm not trying to do too much, because when if I do something for you, then I got to do something for over here. And as soon as I stop doing it, then people get comfortable, then they act a certain way. Guess what? That is a man that is observing. That's a man that's examining himself and examining his surroundings. Guess what? He didn't do nothing wrong. Because especially in the time that we in, a lot of our women are weak. In the truth and out the truth. Some of us men are weak. This is why men, we have to be bold. We have to be all stern. Sometimes I might have to take away my funniness, be around my brothers or even my women or anybody, and I might not be funny all the time. Because then I start examining, either some people might get too comfortable. Can be at work. They see a nigga and he work. They get too comfortable of your work ethic. So now, when I walk past people at work, unless they a Jake, I say, excuse me. All these Edomites, they'll look you right in the face, walk right in front of you, and be like, and they bump you. But when you do it, you be like, excuse me, and they just look at you like you ain't nothing. Now I don't say excuse me to nobody that I don't really have a conversation with. And it's on, I'm treating people how they treating me, but guess what? It's not having me get out of order, you know? Because guess what? The more when I was thinking about somebody bumping me, not saying excuse me, I get upset. But you have to know, I come to a job to work. I don't come there to make friends. Unless brothers is cleaving to the ministry, like when me and my brother, where people might see us reading or doing certain things. When we out of work, we start telling like, yo, this and this and that. But other than that, it's just work, then go home. Everything, you gotta examine everything, you know? If I'm looking at all my kids being goofy and they all talk and laugh, everybody in the house should examine why that child or this little baby separates itself from everybody and not laughing. You know? Some people might feel that they better, or they might close themselves out on everybody. You know, however it is. You have to attack that as a woman and as a man, you know? And again, if you, any woman that don't like correction, you are not a child of Yahawah Shem Yahushai. You know? Let me get a precept and then I'll close. And this is a correction for all of us, man. We're here to be servants of Yahawah Shem Yahushai in our position. Because if the Lord is not correcting you, how can you really say you're a child of Yahawah Shem Yahushai? This is Job chapter 5, verse 17. Behold, happy is a man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Right? The Lord can chastise you through the men. Right? The Lord can chastise you through a mother. The Lord can chastise you through your husband. Right? And guess what? You should be happy. You know? None of us is doing child correction. Oh man, this and this and that. Oh no, this and this and that. Oh, I'm not gonna do this to those kids no more. No, because you as a man of the Lord, you're supposed to examine everything in and out this truth. And if something don't sit right with you, you're supposed to say something. You know, this is why the law say don't hold a grudge. You shouldn't, like Bashar, don't let certain things fester in you. You know, and all my life I used to say how I feel. Sometimes I used to joke more and be more rude in the world. Now you get stern because you want people to know the truth. You want them to know what you like, what you don't like. You want them to know that you examine and you seeing this and seeing that. You want them You want them to be aware. And even with kids, when kids know that the mother or the father is seeing things that they do, that's supposed to startle them to examine themselves like, damn, they seen that. You know what? I ain't doing that no more. 2 minutes later, an hour later, the next day, they'll go back and do it again. That shows that that kid is not listening. Guess what? Through the spirit, you're supposed to whoop that child with the correction of the verbal words. You went back to your vomit again. You know, because you want your kids, you want your household to believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. Even more when it comes to an argument or a certain situation or a difference when it comes to scriptures, breakdowns. What do my brother Asher do? What do me and my brothers do? What do the apostles? Show facts. We go into scriptures. Scriptures. If a woman has a problem, show scriptures. You know, if a woman came, you show more favoritism to this child, or you show favoritism to this woman and not that one. Guess what? Scriptures, we see in scripture where it says, say if a man love one wife and hate one wife. Guess what? If the wife that's hated, and hate means love less, if she has the firstborn child, that firstborn child is still supposed to get inheritance as the firstborn. Guess what? She's still gonna get dick. So you can have a favorite. One can be better than the other. You can love the other one more than the other. But on this side, hey, brother, be careful. You know these women that no. In Isaiah 58:3, you can't spare nobody. Sometimes some people need to hear those things. You know? But if people start assuming, that makes it bad for them. And guess what? Any bad thought we have, any health situation we have, any job loss that we have, right? It's all a correction from Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. All of it, bro. You know, sometimes I might have a sharp pain right in my chest. I'm always looking, judgment of the Lord, somehow, some way. My car, I'm hearing this noise in the car, and it's brand new. And you know, cars get wear and tear. So when I hear that, I always tell myself, I got wear and tear. So if I'm examining my car, then my car say tire, low pressure. I get out and I put air in it, and I'm examining my car. But mostly when I talk to myself, I always be like, man, I gotta examine me. I gotta tune me. That's what this is, man. You gotta tune yourself up. You gotta always get a tune up in the spirit. I just use the car as an example of a tune up. You know, when you're in a marriage, just like the car, you gotta tune it up. You know, tune it up by examining people's weakness or something that they could be dealing with, they could be lacking. You know, and then you bring it into eye view, and then they get to fix it. And it's about them fixing it, not only just because of you, but because every person should be thinking this gonna please Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. If the man already brought it to the tuition and you do it, of course it's gonna please him. But us as servants, it goes back to us saying this is going to please Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai. You know? So again, the one that plants and water, you know, they are both working in the same purpose, but it's all Yahawah Bahasham Yahushai that makes it grow. Lord willing, this was edifying to you. You know, again, this was 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1 to 9 in the NLT. It's good in the KJV too, but it was just certain points that I liked in there. Now, if you keep reading down, which I'll just keep reading and then we'll close, verse 10. It says, because of God's grace to me, I have laid the foundation like an expert builder. Now others are building on it, but whoever is building on this foundation must be very careful. For no one can lay any foundation other than the one we already have, Yahawah Mashiach. And that goes for any congregation, anybody trying to make something new in this thing. It's already a foundation. That's why this ministry is already here. St. John 4, I believe the last few verses, we're in somebody else's labor, so you can't make something new. The Lord is going to give you a better understanding of it, which the Rakak Wadash is going to lead you in all truth, you know? But nobody is doing anything new. If you're doing anything new, you're not coming in the spirit of Yahawah Mashiach. It says, anyone who builds on that foundation may use a variety of materials, gold, silver, jewels, wood, hay, and straw. But on the judgment day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. The fire will show if a person's works has any value. If the work survives, the builder will receive a reward. Even more, you men, you have a household. This is why a woman has to look at you different. Look at you so different, you know? So different that she makes change. So different she's examining, working on herself because a man has to build. Look, if a man don't build, the Lord can judge him by destroying his whole household on this side. You're in this, you teaching the Lord name, you got your family in name, but you're going off in all the way wrong. You know, the Lord can destroy his whole family on his behalf. That's why it is encouraging when a woman is being a woman, a servant, paying to the needs of the child, right? Not being too much of a nigger, a naggy woman, not too much of a woman that's bringing negative emotion and feelings, right? Or can't listen to instructions or recorrection, right? Or redirection. How is she building in this? Because if you got other daughters or even the man when it comes to the sons, right? If a woman is yelling in the man's face, the daughters is gonna do that. Now you are a terrible builder. You are a terrible fucking builder. You know, if you a woman that's doing things out of order and the man don't like it and the child see it, the child through the spirit might say, "Ooh, you making daddy upset." My brother used to say, not saying the name, but when the child seen mom do something, the child would be like, "Oh, mom, if you do that, the Lord gonna destroy you." And that's just funny because the kids really believe in the Lord, you know. So again, I'm showing an example. A man is the top builder, and you women are builders, you know. So if you're not building right, you're gonna get a fire that's gonna either destroy you, and you're gonna have that everlasting contempt, or you're gonna have that fire that's gonna refine you, cleanse you. You know, what you gonna do when you are burning? You know, what are you gonna do? So at the end of the day, we're working to be builders for Yahawah Shema Shai in righteousness, right? Verse 15. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer great loss, right? That goes into Luke chapter 6, verse 46 to 49. Right? If you're not building on the righteous foundation, which is Yahawah Shem Yahushai, your house will be overthrown by a Florida storm. Verse 46 says, "Why call me Lord, Lord, but not do the things that I command you?" Right? So the builder will be saved, but like someone barely escaping through a wall of flames, is scarcely being saved. Don't you realize that don't you realize that all of you together are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God lives in you? Right? God will destroy anyone who destroys this temple. For God's temple is holy and you are that temple, right? So we're supposed to be set apart, different from the world, right? Different from the world, you take away immolation, jealousy. Different from the world where we're not boasting on the things that we have. You know, you're boasting on Yahawah Shem Yahushai because boasting can tear have somebody go the other way. You know, you want to boast on Yahawah Shem Yahushai, brother. Man, that was super edifying. Man, you doing your thing, man. Hey, the water, but it's all Yahawah Shem Yahushai. I'm nothing, and it makes us feel good. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel encouraged. But even more, you stand on accountability that it's not you because all these words is of Yahawah Shem Yahushai. Stop deceiving yourselves if you think you are wise by this world's standards. You need to become a fool to be truly wise, right? And when you go to First Corinthians, we have, I think, the first and second chapter, but the first chapter, and the fourth chapter, we have to be a fool for Mashiach Yahushai's sake, right? So, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness to God. As the scriptures say, he trapped the wise in the snare of their own cleverness. And again, the Lord Yahawah knows the thoughts of the wise. He knows they are worthless. So don't boast about following a particular human leader, for everything belongs to you, right? You got to think. So let me not boast on me following Apostle Elder Tahar and Apostle Gabar, right? I have to boast on Yahawah Shem Yahushai because they are moving through the Rakak Wadash of Yahawah Shem Yahushai. So I'm boasting in that. The Lord showed me my teachers through his Rakak Wadash. They're striving just like I am. So that let me know that Yahawah Shem Yahushai is working within them. So I'm boasting in the Lord that he's using them for me, for you, for us, right? And it's the same that other people might say, hey, yo, the Lord used you to help me to get sharper. That's what it's about. You know, we're all using the elect to get the elect, but we don't know who the elect is, but the mighty men, that's being an example of his ministry. The Lord is using them for us to be sharpened. Then if we get sharpened up, the Lord might use us for somebody else. You know? Verse 22, whether Paul or Apollos or Peter or the world or life and death or the present and the future, everything belongs to you. And you belong to Hamashiach, and Hamashiach belongs to God. Right? Because of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, who's the head of man? Hamashiach. Who's the head of Hamashiach? The Heavenly Father. And who's the head of woman? The man. And that consumes the woman and the child. We belong to Yahawah Bahasham Shai. That's why this shit is not of us. You know? So be thankful that you're in this truth. Be thankful that you have the name of Yahawah Bahasham Shai. No anger, no upset shall hold any man, or any woman from continuing being that light, being that peace to one another, being that strength, being that boulder, right? Being that comfort to one another. You knock the dust off and you keep it fucking moving, man. Because we have a job. We have a job, man. And every day you got to see that you have work to do. If you didn't have no kids, then I can understand that you might not be able to see that you have work to do. But sisters, if you got kids, you got work to be done. If you're around other sisters, you got work to be done because you got to be the light. Brothers, you got to be the light as much as you can. Right? Be the worker, be the field, and be the building. You know? Be the worker, be the field, be the building. Be all three. Say it backwards. I don't mix it up. Be the field, be the building, be the worker. I want to be all of it, man. I'm greedy. I want to be as much as Yahawah Bahasham Shai want me to be. Because when you go into 2 Corinthians chapter 2, I believe, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, where it goes into the faith and the power of God, right? We got to have faith in the power of Yahawah Bahasham Shai. Not faith in man, but the faith in the power of God. For us to go out and teach, that's the power of Yahawah Bahasham Shai. You know? But Lord willing, us edify it to the sheep. If it wasn't, hey, this wasn't for you. But all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, Yahweh Shai. It's who the world really calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakadash, the Holy Spirit, and the Paleo Hebrew. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well through the Spirit. Teach this word and believe in this word, Lord willing, that they continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth. Teaching this word and believing this word in the same spirit, that they endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwat Yum that are believers of the faith. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, just being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but Salaki, but all praise to Yahawah Bahasham, all praise to Yahawah Bahasham Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Anybody that's on this channel and not on my channel, I'm about to do a quick, maybe a short, I don't know how the Lord is going to move it, but a street ministry, another episode of the show. Lord willing, you seeing it and getting edified. Today is that day that we prophesy and speak of Yahawah Bahasham Shai as much as that we can. So with that, shalom, shalom.